Hello everyone, this is Kent Cutter here with another BattleShopper breakdown. Empress, match 3. We won the flip, we'll go first. Playing against the Marshal Josephina. This is possibly a bad matchup. We do have the treacherous pass though, so if opponent is on the super aggressive draw, we're in good shape. So the reason this is a bad matchup is if this is the Ruby Diamond version, they have access to Heart of Embers and a lot of Valor generation, so your life total is not very safe. Additionally, Decree of Vanishing just tells Empress to, you're out. Get out. Holy smokes. We can turn on this treacherous pass as quickly as we would like to. We'll be able to focus for our shard drop next turn pretty easily. Alrighty. Fired this off. Oops. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. So we have two options here. We can Warp Steal and pretty easily turn on the Treacherous Pass. We could also... Yeah, alright. We're going to Warp Steal, and now the question is do we just consult here? I think we do. We're not particularly concerned with our opponent's pressure. Yeah. We definitely are looking for another shard. Obviously, the triple arcane focus will let us get there without much trouble, but it'd be nice if we had drawn one here. Big advantage we have, obviously, is our opponent is sporting the mulligan to 5. Okay, the war party found a friend. Should be able to turn this on next turn without much trouble. Okay. Gemmed with flight. Alright. Not sure if I like the flight gemming on that. You know, I don't really know if the pressure is really that big of a deal. Alright. Let's focus. Oh, hey, a shard. Perfect. Make our shard drop, and I think we just magistrate here. We're still setting ourselves up for... The question that we have to answer here, or the question is do we copycat or attempt to hold up for, save it for next turn for a second Empress activation? Yeah, I'm going to hold off on firing off the copycat. This focus will either find one of these two focuses should find a prompt or another payoff card. So I'm cool with waiting. Also, Magistrate, while it's good in this matchup, the Ruby Diamond deck doesn't really generate extra cards, you know, and start drawing more cards. So it's not really, it's not that impactful. We'll be able to reduce this pretty easily and put a block out. Okay. So opponent's going to get at least one Valor off the Hero of Legend. Nether hit on the War Party Guide. Alright. Tap these two. Exhaust these. Alright, so pass is active. Double block here. It will kill the guide. We'll take 3. I think this is reasonable. don't think the opponent has Lasgars. They might. They might just set it up for next turn. All right. So I could copycat here. All right, let's focus first. Might be able to generate a copycat kill, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we'll take this transmographed. I'll focus again, looking for a shard drop. Gonna focus again, looking for a shard drop. Hey, there we go. That's the drop we're looking for. So now we can attack with this 4-power depth crawler, which is kind of fun. Garg. Here. So we could copycat here, and that ensures that we have a magistrate next turn. I don't expect to block with this in either situation, or not looking to block with this, so putting a second one in play doesn't make us more susceptible to Lasgars. Yeah, we'll fire it off here, and we'll get a second magistrate. We're setting up fairly well for, like, if our opponent doesn't have the Lasgar's Vengeance in their hand, they're gonna get a lot of Dreadlings dropped on them next turn. If they have the Lasgars, it's not so intimidating, right? Because they've had 2, 3. Yeah. And the reserves will have Verdict to help answer the Lasgar's Vengeance. This is another good matchup to highlight here, because this is not one that I think you want to play as Empress. The ability for this deck to attack on a couple other, or to have that reach after applying pressure, really tough to overcome. All right. Something to be said for holding the Cultivator there, since we already had the 2 activations on board. And that would still set us up for a few extra. Let's see. I'm going to cycle this here, just try to find, or excuse me, activate this here to try to find. Oh. And we'll transmog the Crusader. All right. Unfortunately, we just have to hope to get. We have to get lucky with our opponent finding a spider. Off their 1-card draw turn. This is where Magistrate, definitely shows kind of its inefficiencies. Not kind of. It shows its major issues. All right. We're going to transmographe here. Maybe we'll hit something that cannot attack. Hey, I can still attack and trigger. If opponent wants to trigger Lasgars, they have the full ability to. Not interested. All right. So we'd be able to create 2 Dreadlings, which would be able to... So this is 4, 4, 8, 12... So opponent will have to block 1. We'll activate this turn to try to play around a Decree of Banishing. So I'll elicit a block with the Cottontail or a removal spell. And imagine it's just a chump with the Cottontail Explorer. Pyre strikes of pop. Ooh. Okay. Respects the pressure. Cannot fault my opponent for that. Well, we're not in bad shape. Hey, that is what we're looking for. So I can pressure with the magistrates. Block, take 4. Ardent Crusader does a really good job. Like, prompt can't get in there. A couple spiders would do some good. This is definitely a position where, with like a Heart of Embers out of our opponent, the board shifts drastically back the other way. Interesting. Elders, one of the one-ofs, to facilitate the Ardent Crusader package. Yep. Jeez. That Elder's a big one to, if you can get the activation in, to get around the Empress lockdown. We'll be able to pressure with Commander Prompt here. Oh. Hey. That should be lethal. So if I go and do not attack with this, because I don't want, so the opponent blocks here, traps here, takes... Interesting. So I can try to play around Totem Trap. Not typically a main deck card, so we'll just attack with everything here. That was the consideration. Opponent can place a block here. And then if they were to kill this, it'd be 4, 8, 12, 17. So it's okay, so it's still lethal. No, it's not, because the trap would, if it was a removal spell, it would go on the prompt. Yeah. Well, looks like we were able to get through that combat step without our opponent surprising us with anything. So let's get to the reserving. Ruby, Diamond. It's mid-range in this case. Yes, they might have some Intrepid Explorers, but it's really more of a mid-range strategy. I think Arcane Zephyr has some application here. We're not interested in the pass. It did a little bit of work there. We need Transmogrifade for the expected Heart of Embers. Verdict is an interesting one. So this is where we're kind of at by cutting the passes, we cut the way to activate the Cultivator regularly, which is fine. Outside of Consulting. I feel like we want to bring in some Verdicts to help deal with Lasgars, and we want to bring in some Zephyrs to help protect our larger threats. Can cut a Consult. I want to hit Prompts. I'm not too impressed with Magistrates. And then we'll cut some Shardsworns. No, it's definitely supposed to be the Cultivators. Which one of these two is worse against our opponent's threat base? Interesting. Cultivator. 3, 1. Yeah, we'll go with Cultivator. It's fine. All right. So what I was trying to debate through there was, or it was deciding between the immediate impact of the Warpsteel Shardsworn or the 1/4 body, like basically which one activates. I was thinking maybe the Warp Steel being able to, you know, drop and activate at the same turn is something we were interested in, and the Venom trigger, but we're already cutting Magistrate, so we're not into that. Cultivator blocks. This hand is fine. We'll keep this one. We'll see how this Verdict lines up. You know, not super excited about it. Watch the Intrepid Explorer me and aggro me out, and all my passes are on the board. Yeah, that's okay. Huh. We're going to play the Slow Shard, the coin. I just want to make sure I hit my shard drops and progress up the curve pretty steadily. Cultivator into Magistrate seems fine to try to bait out the Decretive Banishing. Play the Pointless Well. Okay. So that would slow down a copycat, you know, explosion, which is fine. Okay. Play the Skits. Pass it over. Next turn, we're definitely going to run out the Magistrate. So opponent has, this will be second, third, Lasgar's is at 5. 5 count on the Lasgar's. No, okay. Lasgar's is at 7. Alright, we'll run out of Magistrate. Interesting, the opponent didn't want to take the Wise Magistrate attack there. I felt like it was pretty free. I could definitely see the Conjurer not coming in. A little bit of an indication they don't have the Lasgar's Vengeance, but, you know, Lasgar's still at 1. We'll keep track of that. Okay. Opponent's already played their shard for the turn, so we can freely block with Magistrate. Okay. Okay. I think this is going to go in a favorable direction for us. We'll block here. All right, so what we're going to lead on here is the Empress. We're going to lock down our opponent's 2 troops. If they... So with an attack for 3, that's 4. So Lasgar's is active if they have the shard, but we don't think they do, so we'll tap down these 2 troops. A-OK, plus. Exhaust. Exhaust. Thanks. Moonrise Elder. So 2 fresh ones there. All right, well, it looks like the opponent is going to concede there in the face of the impending lock from the Empress of Ice. While the Ruby Diamond deck is something that I feel like you have to be really, you know, careful with as the Empress deck, without the Heart of Embers being put in play to provide the pressure from there, you can see how the Empress deck can run away from the game. But this was Kent Ketter with a BattleShopper breakdown of Mono Sapphire Empress. Please come back for match 4. Check it out. See you there.